Hallo Schüler, hallo Schülerinnen, willkommen in der Grammatikstube. Ich bin Herr K. und das ist Alex. Hallo
Hello.
Alex.
Hi, hello, Herka. So I have a question about this passive voice. What is that?
Ah, the passive. Well, in grammar, a sentence has to be either active or passive. Would you like me to demonstrate the difference between the two?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Hier
eine Recyclingtonne. Die Aludose.
Okay, I see that you have a recycling toner here and I have this can, but what do you want me to do?
Ah, good question, Alex. I want you to do something. I want you to do an action.
Do an action? Well, what do you want me to do?
Throw the can into the tonne.
Sie wirft die Dose in die Tonne.
Ja, sehr gut. Did you hear that sentence? Was that an active or a passive sentence, do you think?
I'm gonna have to guess active.
That's right, it was active. We had a subject doing something. The subject was the agent doing something. Who was the subject?
I was. Alex.
Alex was the subject. You were the subject. So what were you doing? What was the subject doing?
I threw the can.
You threw the can, and I was going to ask you what you threw. The can is the object, the direct object. It takes the action of the verb. In this case, it was thrown. The can was thrown. So there's the subject doing, the agent, and the verb was to throw, and the can was the object. So that is an active sentence.
Okay, I follow now, but what about the passive? That was just active, right?
That was just active. Now let's do a passive sentence. Let's do the same thing, except this time I'll give you this.
Die Flasche.
Great, so what do you want me to do with this?
Die Flasche wird in die Tonne geworfen.
Okay, so Alex, that was a passive sentence. Did you hear that? Did you hear what the difference was? What was the subject in that sentence?
Die Flasche. Okay, so in this sentence, the subject isn't the agent. The subject isn't doing anything.
Right, exactly right. You've got it. The subject is not the agent. The subject is not doing something. Let's compare these two sentences. Look a little closer, okay?
Okay.
So, active versus passive. Let's look at these two sentences. We said, Alex wirft die Dose in die Tonne.
Okay.
And that was, in English?
Alex throws the can into the container.
Yeah. And then the passive one was, die Flasche wird in die Tonne geworfen.
And that means the bottle is thrown into the container.
The bottle is thrown into the container. Now, one of them is active, the active voice, the one on the left, and the one on the right.
Is passive.
Right, okay. Now, we're going to look at different parts of these sentences. Now, we did mention the subject, and that's where we're going to start. The subject in the first sentence is?
Me, Alex.
Right, the subject. Now, let's describe that subject, okay? The subject...
Me, Alex.
Yeah, acts. It's active, okay? So that's what we know because you were throwing something. So the subject acts in the active voice sentence. Now let's look at the subject. Oh, forgot this point. It's also called the agent, the doer. So you were the agent or doer in that sentence. Now let's look at the subject in the next sentence.
Die Flasche.
Die Flasche. And we have to describe this subject. What did we say about that?
It's acted upon, so it's passive.
It's passive. It's not doing anything. It's not an agent, okay?
All right.
And?
The object of the action?
Right. It's the object here of the action. It's not doing anything. Okay, so we've looked at the subject, Alex. Now let's look at another part of these sentences, and that would be the verb. In the second one, or in the first one, the active voice, we have wirft, and that is an action verb, okay? It's showing an action. Now, in the passive voice sentence, we're going to see that it's a little different. What is it there?
Wird.
Wird. Okay, and wird is used in all passive voice sentences, or a form of werden. The conjugated verb is a helping verb. It's called an auxiliary verb. That's used for all passive voice sentences.
Okay.
And it is always a form of werden. That's correct. Okay? So we're going to look at one last thing. If you look at that passive voice sentence, you notice something else going on there that looks a little bit strange. And there it is, geworfen. Geworfen is what's known as the past participle. Now, in the English translation of this, we also have a past participle. Do you know which word it is?
Is it thrown?
Thrown. Sehr gut. Okay. Now we're going to talk about this past participle. What do you know about it? It's always in the passive voice. Where is it?
At the end of the sentence.
At the end of the sentence, and it often has one of those GEs in front of it. That kind of tells you that it's a participle, but we'll talk about that in a minute.